Most people don't think about what goes into their tanks other than the price. But every pump of gas comes with a not-so-hidden cost.
Someday you're going to be using this in your cars.
What President George Bush signed into law, the Obama administration has since championed. Oil companies required to add billions of gallons of ethanol to their gasoline each year. Most of that is corn, which is distilled into ethanol. But the promise of a greener, cleaner fuel has proven far more damaging to the environment than the government is saying.
There's no question that air quality, water quality is benefiting from this industry. And we're reducing our reliance on foreign oil, as everyone knows.
Under President Obama's watch, 5 million acres of land specifically set aside for conservation have been converted to cropland. That's an area the size of Yellowstone, the Everglades, and Yosemite National Park combined.
But the way it looks, I can make a lot more money with corn and beans.
That's a dilemma for farmers like Leroy Perkins. The money the government pays to keep his 91 acres unfarmed as part of a conservation program is now less than what he can get for corn.
What's going to happen to the land? It could disappear.
The evidence is in the ground. In 2012, American farmers planted 15 million more acres of corn farmland than before the boom. This color-coded map based on U.S. Department of Agriculture data shows the dramatic conversion in the past 5 years. The darker the area, the higher percent of corn plantation.
It's becoming more common because of how profitable corn is to do corn on corn on corn instead of rotations.
Gullies shaped like fingers show the effect of planting on marginal land. Craig Cox of the Environmental Working Group, normally an Obama ally, calls the ethanol policy an ecological disaster.
So you can imagine, this spring, April, May, there's nothing covering the soil. You get a heavy rainstorm, and the soil erosion and polluted runoff from fields like this is horrendous.
That runoff, according to Des Moines Water Works, is ending up in the two rivers that supply 500,000 customers. For the first time, the city had to run huge machines around the clock this summer to filter out the rising levels of harmful nitrates. Scientists say those same pollutants containing nitrogen and phosphorus are traveling all the way down to the mouth of the Mississippi River and beyond, worsening an area known as the dead zone, where marine life can't survive. This year's dead zone stretched more than 5,800 square miles. That's roughly the size of Connecticut.
It's not rocket science to figure out if you plant more acreage in corn, you use more fertilizer, we lose more fertilizer. That means more of it gets into the Gulf of Mexico. We have larger algal blooms and then larger dead zones.
Larry Alexi, a Louisiana shrimper, says his livelihood is being threatened.
I've never seen a season as bad as this one here is in this Barataria estuary.
But the nation's leading ethanol producer dismisses any correlation between increased production and what's happening in the Gulf or the heartland.
We're going to stand up and defend the things that are false against our industry and against our product, whether that's an environmental claim or whether that's a performance claim.
In July, a USDA official in Iowa told AP the agency was caught off guard by the damage being done by overplanting crops. Shortly afterward, that official was told to be quiet. A USDA media representative emailed him that we, quote, just want to have a consistent message on the topic. That message? The ethanol mandate has been good for the farming industry and the land. Yet in this ethanol era, no land appears sacred, except perhaps cemeteries. John Moan, Associated Press, CORYDON, Iowa.